Hello everybody, welcome to sailingmanuel radio. I never really told anybody the truth of the big reason I got here on YouTube. I was telling somebody on Skype and they really kind of said, you should tell that story. You should tell people what made you want to do this. Well, so I guess I would tell. I'm not going to tell the whole big story because it could, I'll get too heated and too pissed off and I'll just keep going and going and going. So I will kind of give them all of the broad strokes and we'll take it from there. So, about 2008 or whatever, the economy started going down real bad. And a lot of these little towns and government, they were hurt for cash. Now, before that, I started getting more into YouTube and the gun community. Not making videos per se, but just I had the feeling that we was getting close to losing some of our gun rights, and so I felt the need. I need to start buying some guns, to get them before they make them illegal. So I was watching a lot of gun-related videos and stuff like that, and I really got to comment and being part of the community that way. But I didn't make videos. I did put a few videos up a few years ago before this, if I saw something, just the average one or two, like people make a video and just upload it just for the hell of it, not doing anything with it, not like what I do now, or like most of us do. We have a theme and we keep doing with it. But so excuse me. So let's get back to that big reason why I did this. So now these little big towns around here started really hurting for cash. There's one in particular called Greer, South Carolina. They were really hurting for cash, and then they started passing these little funky laws about how they can go to other towns and counties and patrol the schools to get cash. Basically, they were just a roving band of criminals, really, because they probably had quotas and everything else. And me being a truck driver, I get tickets occasionally, and I've never fought a ticket. I always pay the ticket because I always justifiably, if I did it, but this time I got busted and I didn't do it. I was totally innocent. Now, I was living on the false assumption that truth will set you free, you know what I mean? All that stuff, and just, I never really bumped up to any corruption, so we'll go to the story there. So, I'm in another county. I live in Lawrence County. My kids go to Greenville County schools, which is a few miles away, so I'm right there. I call them the line. And I think Greer is in between Greenville and Spartanburg County. So when I had to go fight this ticket, I had to drive 45 minutes away, which is like, patrol your own town, don't be coming to my town, because I live out in boonies. So I go all the way out there, and this time I was only working on the weekends. I was Mr. Mom. So I was taking care of my little girl. I had her with me. She was about a year old at the time. And so I was going to fight this ticket. And I didn't think there was no way I could lose because it was so bullcrap. So what happened was, I can tell you the broad strokes. He was giving a ticket to somebody in this medium. I was just dropping two kids off. And I pulled out and, I went. I'm driving a 95 Tahoe, which is like 15 years old, and you're out of the school zone. There's no way I could have sped. So there's no way. And he comes behind me going, almost 90 miles an hour in front of a school. If we're talking about safety, why are you going so damn fast in front of the school? Which I'm kind of pissed about that. So they busted me for that. So so we get up there. And it starts to get a little fishy because you have to talk to it was just weird how they was doing it, because I've had to pay stuff before, and this was just really, it seemed like an assembly line for your money. That's all I could really say. And I think it was me and one other lady who actually was like going to try to fight it. Now they did offer a jury trial, But I, being naive at the time, thought, no, I'll trust the judge. You know what I mean? I mean, he'll hear the reason, or she'll hear the reason, and they'll see what's fair is fair. So we do that. Well, the judge kind of, you know, he's just floating around. Seemed like a nice man at the time, but you know, but then he was like the other lady, you know, he was flirting with her because, you know, she, you know, when a pretty lady goes to, you know, she had the girls out. Let's put it that way. She was using what God gave her to, you know, help her out of this ticket. So basically he decides, instead of reschedule, well, let's go ahead. So we go back to his office to have this little mock trial with the cop after I waited all day. I had my little girl with me. So I'm sitting in there. I tell the story. I mean, well, first, you know, the cop tells the story, and I was just flabbergasted, like, what? Because it was like, this dude's lying, like, big time, telling this guy that I'm coming down the road. He clocked me coming down the road, coming towards him. I'm like, and when I start talking, I'm like, no, man, I was just dropping my 2 kids off. Then I was behind you. Then you come running after me. And there's no way I could have done it. So I tell the whole story, and I'm thinking, there's not a person in the world. I mean, it's blatantly obvious this guy's lying. It's blatantly obvious that I'm telling the truth. And because I went into it more, there's no way in hell I'm sitting there confident. Now, beforehand, he told me, the judge told me, if I fight this ticket, you know, basically because you don't understand what great chance we're giving you here. Because we actually, when we wrote the ticket, we cut it in half. So we're only charging you 2 points and half, like $200. But if you fight the ticket and you lose, we're going to have to charge you the whole amount. So basically, if you have the audacity to fight and say, you know, I didn't do this, you're going to be penalized again, double points, double pay. So, and I'm like, but I didn't do it. Which, you know, like I say, I was so naive, you know, thinking that, you know, I was really naive. That's all I can say. So, we get through it. I'm sitting back. I'm confident. There's no way in hell this guy's, I mean, it was just totally blatant that I should have went for the jury trial, but I didn't know any better. So it was totally blatant this guy was lying, and it was just like I was I don't want to keep going in it, but it's basically anybody sitting in there could really found the truth, and I'm being honest here. So the judge looks at me and says, "Well, I find you guilty," and I'm blah blah blah, and the cop gets up from his seat and kind of gives me that little motherfucker slurk, you know what I mean? Just gives me that little smirk, and I'm sitting there in this judge's office with the judge, dumbfounded, with my little girl in my lap. And I do believe if my little girl was not in my lap, I would have went to jail that day, because I was so angry. I mean, it was to another level where, like, maybe half a tear about ready to pop. Just that rage, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Just like, you know, when you tell the truth, and it's like, wait a minute. I was so, it didn't show it, but I was inside. I was that 1 second away from snapping, and if I didn't have my little baby girl on my lap holding her, I would have went to jail that day, big time. So I was just sitting there like dumbfounded. Eventually, you know, he kind of just, well, you know, then because they doubled the fine, I didn't have all that money, so at least they let me. Oh well, we'll give you another month to pay that. You know what I mean? It's like, because I was working. My wife was in and out of the hospital for months, and I was just working part time. We didn't have no money, and just to be robbed like this, it was just totally. So I just couldn't do nothing. I didn't cuss the guy. I got up. I got to the door. I kind of looked halfway back, and I said, I didn't lie. Then I just walked out. And that was all I did. But then it was just, for months and months, I would just stare at the ceiling and just daydreaming about just exacting my revenge on all. You know what I mean? Just like, you cannot understand the rage that was going through me for the longest time. It took me forever to actually get to a point. You just feel And that was just over a ticket, and you're basically just ripping me off. And it also ruined my career for a while, because I'm a truck driver. I can't have so many tickets. So it was about a year and a half I couldn't drive a truck. Whenever I found the job that I have now, I was a lead man for about a year. I couldn't. Then I had to work my way back in once the ticket fell off. So it really, really, really put a burden on my finances for 2 years, and it's still. Ooh, but the thing is, then I got to thinking, I am pissed off at this. A lot of people, who's been railroaded by the system, are in jail for this, that, and the other, or whatever they want. And I was like, as a citizen, you have no voice. You have no voice. There's nothing you can do about this. If I was a rich man, I could throw lawyers at it. If I was a famous person, I can get on the news and people will listen to me. But being just a work slave, there is nothing you can do about it. So I said, you know what? I need my voice out there, because damn it, this shit ain't happened to me again. Because I'm gonna start. Because I keep a camera with me at all times. I get pulled over. Now I'm still nice. Now I don't want to act like that I'm hating on all cops, because there are some great ones out there. I joke around with them. I talk to them. I have no problem. But there's a certain level, I don't know, precincts or whatever. There's a little bit of corruption in certain places in this United States that once it grows, and once you start noticing corruption, you start seeing it more and more. And I leave my camera with me at all the time. If I have any action with a cop or anything else or anything, I'll have my camera or audio running, because there is no way these criminals are going to catch me again off guard. But also, the reason I really, really got into YouTube is, like, if anything ever happens again, I want to have a voice. I am going to scream and bitch and moan at the top of my lungs, pointing out this corruption, because that's the only thing we can do. What can I do as an adversary? A lot of people say, well, you can go appeal it. And what? I can go to the government and complain about the government to the government? It's like going to a mob family and complaining that Vito Corleone did this and to his brother. Please. They would just, there's no way in hell. So I'm into my rights big time now. Before I would say, cop would say, can I search your car? I'd say, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want. Now I'm like, no way. There's no way. There's no fucking way in hell you still. I mean, because I stand on my rights now big time. I'm very nice, but like, if it comes down to it, even if it would be easy for letting them pop that trunk and look around for a second, there's no way in hell I'm doing it without a warrant, or I'm protesting. So that is one of the biggest reasons I did, just to have a voice. Because the feeling of being a victim, I mean, I can't. It really, really hurt me, because anywhere else you would take care of business. There's no way in hell, and there's nothing you could do. If I did anything, I would go to jail for a long time or forever, or who knows. So I just had to just take it. It was almost like a raping. So that was one of the big reasons I got on YouTube. I mean, I get on here and I joke, I have fun and everything, but it's like I wanted to have a voice that I could speak out when something bad happens, and be a voice for others. See, I'm kind of defensive for people. I mean, defenses. I grew up with a stepbrother who was mentally retarded. I know they say, that's not the word, but that was the word they use now. Mentally, he was not there. And he was a diabetic too. So he didn't know that he couldn't eat certain things, and it was very difficult. And I was very protective of Chad. So, and if bullies or stuff, I was always, I would protect him. And I guess it started at early age, protecting him all them years. I guess I'm more prone to, I don't like it, see it when I see somebody do something crappy to somebody. I'm all like, I'm the first one to jump in a situation when I feel somebody's being put down. I mean, that's kind of reason, you sometimes see me get on my damn high horse here on YouTube, getting on these bullies on here. It strikes me right to the DNA. So, and I just don't like crap like that. Ooh. So, well, I don't know, I guess I bored y'all long enough. But but yeah, 2 years, they ruined me. And It was bad. I mean, like I think I'm going into it, but if you ever was a victim of something like that, it shakes your confidence in the system, and you start to see it more in the political reign. You don't trust the government. I don't trust the government at all. I do not trust them. And you know, I do the prepping stuff. I had to say, if anything ever happens, I see police and officials coming on the road, I'm not jumping out waving my hands. Here I am. Here I am. I'm keeping my head down low. I'm gonna avoid them just like I would any other criminals out there, because I don't. I mean, you know, I know that sounds bad. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be attacking nobody, but I won't be like, hoo-hoo, here I am, help me, help me. No, no, no. There's no damn way. I'm keeping myself low. I don't trust them. All right. I guess I'll end it here, guys and girls. Knuckle bump.